Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Sophie, and this channel is chronicling my journey of living my best life with multiple chronic health conditions. Today I want to share an update, a medical update, that's actually a positive one for a change. I won't get into how I'm doing physically. I will do that in the next video, but a good medical update, few and far between, so let's get into that. As I stated last month, I had my primary doctor send a referral to the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, or CHOP, to their mitochondrial center. They are one of the best in the country, maybe in the world, and it was just sort of like a waiting game. The same day she sent the referral, I did get sort of a little mini symptom questionnaire type thing, and I did that same day, and then the email response I got was thanks, someone will be in touch in 7 to 10 days to schedule your appointment. I thought that seemed really odd because from everything I read, it takes a very long time to get an appointment there unless you're expedited. Now that was obviously my hope, because functionally, even though I push myself to do things, I am not doing well. So I was maybe I'll be one of the people who are expedited. We'll just have to see what happens. So the 10 or so business days had passed, and I was whenever they get to me, they didn't turn me away, it seems. So that's positive, because they don't see everyone just because they get a referral. So at the very least, they think I need to be seen. We'll just have to wait until they call. On this past Friday, which would have been May 30th, I was sleeping in because normally I turn into a night owl. I end up doing things during the day, needing to nap, and then I don't go to sleep until late. So it was probably 9 or so o'clock, and I did hear my phone ring. I didn't put it on vibrate or silence or whatever like I normally do. I rolled over, I looked at it, I did not recognize the number. I turned it off and rolled over and went back to sleep for another hour or so. I got up and listened to the voicemail, and I couldn't really understand what they were saying. So like most people these days, if you get a phone call and you don't know who it is, you Google the phone number. And when I Googled it, it was CHOP's Mitochondrial Center. So that woke me up in a hurry, because that is what I wanted. That is what I need. So I called them back, and I get an appointment scheduled for the end of July, which is amazing. So I'm going to Philadelphia on the end of July, and I will be seeing one of the providers as well as physical therapy. I am hoping the physical therapy can sort of help me figure out how to do things easier without as much muscle burning, which I'll get into more in the next video. But otherwise, I don't know what I can do for physical therapy. I can't walk or brush my hair, brush my teeth, cook, all of that stuff just causes muscle burning, and some things just cause my heart rate to skyrocket because of how much muscle burning. So don't know how the physical therapy is going to be, but I'm hoping that I won't have to go into this appointment on the offensive, trying to convince someone that something is wrong with me. On kind of a side note, the last couple provider notes that I have here locally have said basically suspected mitochondrial disease, genetics negative, which kind of makes me angry because a lot of people with mitochondrial disease don't have positive genetics. Genetics is in its infancy, so it's really frustrated to be blocked from getting care because my genetic test was negative. But not gonna harp on that, just thought doctors are now thinking that's what's going on. It really does explain, I think, literally everything that's going on with me. But again, I don't really care about the whole unifying diagnosis thing. I would just like to stop getting worse. I did see my cardiologist last week. Nothing, I mean, it was basically a waste of my time. The barometer was also plummeting, so I also didn't have the energy to sort of fight back. But it was, like you're pretty stable. I don't know how third spacing fluid and losing 10 pounds, almost 10 pounds overnight in pee is stable, but there you have it. Apparently that is stable. So hopefully, I know when I go to CHOP, I'm only seeing the provider and physical therapist, but if they do take me on as a mitochondrial patient, they do have like mitochondrial cardiologist and endocrinologist and like just sort of like all the subspecialties. So I don't know if most of my care would sort of be transferred because they would know more specifically about the sort of oddities that's going on in terms of mitochondrial disease impacting what appears to be like heart failure with preserved ejection fraction and stuff like that. But third spacing, I guess, to back up, is when the fluid it left your blood vessels, so it's sort of just like in the free space in your body, so like in your abdomen or in the legs, and that's how you get pitting edema. That is third spacing. That's also why some people get really bloated abdomens. Mine's really bloated all the time. I can lose, like I've said before, like 2 inches, and that was before I was lying down to pee. So I really should do measurements, but I just haven't really thought about it. I just know I can lose I've almost lost 8 pounds overnight before. I think that's been the record. But then it all comes back the next day when I'm upright all day and like drinking. I don't pee a lot during the day, so the fluid just sort of hangs out in my abdomen and not so much, but in my legs. And then when I lay down, the fluid redistributes. It goes back into the vasculature. Then it can be processed by the kidneys and the diuretic, and then I pee all night. And that is how I've been managing the fluid retention, or attempting to manage it. I am doing the ketogenic diet now, or more of a ketogenic diet. So I was hoping that would get more fluid off because carbs also retain fluid. That's why when you start a ketogenic diet, you lose weight really quickly. That's fluid weight. That has not happened with me, which is really odd. I've done ketosis multiple times in the past, and I've always dropped, quite a few pounds that first week, and nothing, not at all. So that's frustrating, but I'm just gonna stick with it the best I can, and hopefully over time, I will get more and more of the fluid off. And now that I'm not working and can lay down as needed during the day, I'm doing that. So I just woke up from a nap. And I think that's it as far as medical stuff is concerned. I will record a video about how I'm currently doing after this. So we'll have a couple weeks ready to go. Oh, and obviously I'm not in Gatlinburg. I am going, but not until July, and I will talk about that in the next video also. But that is going to be it for this one. I hope whenever it is you are seeing this, you're having a good day. I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.